Massive wildfires have swept the land of Israel, causing enormous amounts of damage. We'll get into a full update on that situation, along with a buried story of Israel rescuing Druze communities from a massacre in Syria. I'm Ben Hilton, and this is the Israel Guys. Today is Yom Ha'atzmaut, or Independence Day in Israel. 77 years ago, a nation was born in a day just like Isaiah prophesied would happen, and today, thank God, Israel is stronger and more successful than ever. And every day, Israel is becoming more and more of a light unto the nations and a dividing line between good and evil in the world. Again, thank God. Unfortunately, Israel didn't really get to celebrate this holiday in peace this year. As Justin briefly covered yesterday, Israel has been experiencing hazardous weather with intense dry heat and wind speeds of more than 60 miles per hour in some cases. This sparked a number of wildfires across the nation of Israel yesterday. It's unclear what the cause of all these fires are exactly. Some we know were caused by arson from Arabs. Some may have been from natural sources as well. You can see at least one of the arsonists caught on camera here in this video. You can also see this video of olive trees burning from the inside out. There was a rumor that this was caused by Arab arsonist gangs using incendiary devices to light these trees on fire, but it is hard to say what exactly is true at this point or not. Either way, it is a crazy piece of footage. The only conclusive story we have so far is yesterday, a 50-year-old Arab East Jerusalem resident was arrested trying to ignite a field, and 18 others were arrested for suspected arson as well, although only 3 were actually detained for further questioning, according to the Israeli police. It looks like the initial fire started close to Beit Shemesh, about 15 miles west of Jerusalem, and it wasn't long before more and more out-of-control fires were being reported. Israel was quick to respond with police and firefighters on the ground and from the air. Overall, over 160 domestic firefighting crews and over 12 aircraft with military support were in operation. 10 different communities were evacuated, according to reports, with over 7,000 residents being told to flee. Major highways, including Route 1 and Route 3, were closed, and people were forced to leave their cars and run on foot due to the flames blocking off the highway. Trains and buses were also stopped for a while. Israel quickly realized that with the scope of the multiple fires and the crazy weather, the wind, the heat, the dryness, that the situation could quickly get out of control. Yesterday, Netanyahu asked for international assistance, and a number of countries were quick to respond. Greece, Cyprus, Croatia, Italy, Romania, Spain, France. All of those countries offered to send firefighting aircraft to help out. Before those aircraft were able to arrive, though, Israel is doing the best they can with the firefighting planes that they own. You can see this crazy video here from inside one of Israel's aircraft as they dropped fire retardant on the flames below, and also the view from the ground of a C-130 doing the same. Thankfully, last night, it seems like the weather took a little bit of a turn for the better. Things cooled off a touch, and there was a little bit of rain across Israel, which helped calm the situation to a certain extent. Today, according to reports, there are still 6 active fire fronts with over 100 teams of firefighters still continuing to battle huge, intense fires. JNF is estimating that already some 5,000 acres have been burned, including over 3,000 acres of forest. You can see some of the devastation in these videos shot from the air. So far, thank God, it looks like there hasn't been any significant damage in any of the communities in Israel as far as housing or infrastructure, and no loss of life. Although there are a few dozen people that have been treated for minor injuries, including a few firefighters who have been evacuated for medical treatment, the fire is not under control yet. This is still a very volatile situation. Hopefully over the course of tonight, Israel can get the fires completely contained. There is a report that the promised aircraft from Cyprus and Croatia and France are just now arriving in Israel, so hopefully that can provide a needed boost to Israel's firefighting capacity. Because of the fires, Israel was forced to cancel most of the Independence Day ceremonies they had planned. They were able, though, to broadcast the dress rehearsal for the annual torch lighting ceremony that they had done a few days before. You can see in this clip here, apparently the Mossad agents who led the beeper operation in Lebanon were given the honor of lighting the torch. But if fighting massive wildfires and celebrating 77 years wasn't enough, Israel is also taking part in a fascinating operation to protect the Druze communities in Syria, in a story that hasn't really gotten much media attention at all. We'll get into that in a second, but first, in a time when Israel faces unprecedented challenges, there is a powerful way to stand with Israel while investing in something you believe in. As Israel heals from recent attacks, believers worldwide are answering a biblical calling. Genesis 12:3 isn't just a scripture, it is a promise. I will bless those who bless you. Wise Money Israel offers believers a pathway to invest directly in Israeli companies. These aren't just financial transactions, they're an investment in Israel's renewal and future. Support Israel by backing successful companies that power the economy and sustain the Jewish people. When you invest, you're helping to rebuild communities from devastation, support innovation that keeps Israel secure, fulfill prophecies about nations blessing Israel, and counter those who would economically isolate God's chosen land. In these critical times, aligning your finances with faith declares that you stand with Israel. My family and I have been clients of this licensed investment firm for years. They are friends and financial sponsors. Click on the link in the description below or visit wisemoneyisrael.com/theisraelguys for a free consultation today. That's wisemoneyisrael.com/theisraelguys. So as we've talked about here before on the show, the Druze in Syria have been aligning themselves more and more with Israel. A number of Druze communities close to the Israeli border voted a few months back to become citizens of Israel, if Israel would allow it. This is very strategic on their part, as historically the Sunni HTS group that has now taken over control of Syria is none too friendly to the Druze. So far, Israel has shown signs that they would like to pursue the relationship, courting friendship with the Druze leadership. Over the course of this week, the Druze in Syria have become more and more concerned that they were headed for a massive attack and possible massacre by HTS forces, similar to what happened to the Alawite community back in March. The situation came to a head on Tuesday, when an audio recording of a Druze cleric insulting Muhammad was dropped on social media. It turns out that the recording was probably a complete fake, but that didn't stop HTS groups from taking it seriously and using it as an excuse to attack Druze communities. Over the last few days, there seems to be a number of coordinated attacks by HTS or HTS-related groups. Thankfully, unlike the Alawite community, the Druze were a bit better prepared and armed. So far, even though there have been skirmishes and some people killed, it doesn't seem like there's been any kind of a wholesale massacre like what happened with the Alawite community. One reason for this seems to be Israel's intervention. Yesterday, Israel reportedly conducted a drone strike on a group preparing to attack a Druze community. Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz called it a warning operation, clearly hinting that there may be more actions to follow if HTS doesn't back down. They also issued a clear warning to Syria's government, demanding it prevent harm to the Druze and to back up this threat. The IDF Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Ayel Zimmer, ordered readiness to strike Syrian government targets if violence against any Druze continues. Of course, Turkey's President Erdogan condemned Israel's strike as provocative. Where this goes from here remains to be seen. I think it's good for Israel to be courting the relationship with minorities in Syria, especially the Druze. There's a lot of vested interest in uniting the Druze communities in Israel with those across the border in Syria. Hopefully, it will build strong allies for the state of Israel throughout the north, strengthening Israel's securities in a lot of ways. Guys, please consider investing in the land and people of Israel through our friends at Wise Money Israel. The link is in the description. Subscribe and get the conversation going down in the comments. If you'd like to support our work here at the Israel Guys, head over to theisraelguys.com/donate. As always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys.